So we are in Hosty George campsite. This is our next adventure, which will be around North Yorkshire. So this time we're going to do a bit of reviews about trucks and the cars and the guys from the group. So this time first guy will be Chris, who's local guy around there. So he will tell us about his car, himself, about his mods and stuff. So I believe it will be a bit interesting for everyone. Hi Chris.
Hello.
You all right?
Yeah, good.
Yep. So tell us a little bit about yourself. About your car, about all that.
Just a local guy around the area. I've got a small construction company, and I use the old thing for a bit of work here and there, and then round the lanes in the area, just trying to abuse it where I can, really. 2009 Nissan Patrol. Bought it totally stock from an old guy who basically couldn't press the clutch anymore, so went up for sale, and I was really lucky to find a common rail one in the UK. So snapped it up and then started modifying it as we go. Yeah, that's pretty much how I ended up with it.
How long have you had it now?
I think about 6 years, thereabouts. Spent quite a few hours working on it and repairing it and modifying it and just finding out what works and what doesn't, really.
And what brings you to 4x4s and why you choose Jap?
Well, I was always into 4x4s and started off with a Land Rover, and it just went wrong and got worse and worse, and then ended up breaking it for parts. Knew I always wanted one of these, but I was waiting for a common rail one for about 1.5 years, and then literally stumbled across it, rung the guy and said, is it still available? He said yeah. So went sort of 6 hours down south, picked it up, drove it home, and then was sort of happy I'd got one, really. The other option was going to be an 80 series Land Cruiser, but couldn't find a good one, and the good ones were a fortune, and I thought, well, yeah, so ended up with this.
Okay, so what was the first mod you done on it?
First mods, I put a 3-inch exhaust on it and a Tilix kit. Then I started with an airbox from Australia, snorkel from Australia, then I think I put a lift kit on it, put a 3-inch lift on it, standard Pedders kit, and then put the extended shocks on. Well,
you had your Pedders now for a while, and
yeah, I've had the Pedders. Pedders has done 85,000 mile, and it's sagged a bit, but it still works. It's still flexes really well. It's had a lot of grief, but it's been really good. Then I started with wanted a bit more power, so I got a remap on it. 3-inch exhaust was already on it. Then I got a bigger intercooler on it, and then just started going to town on it, really. 35s, big locks, winch bumper, an ARB one from Australia.
So the wheels, you've got a bit special wheels as well?
Yeah, they're a Method Racing full bead lock, so you can just really air them down, and they don't come off the rim like a standard tyre when you let the pressures out. Been really good, to be fair. Not had a single problem with them, really, apart from a couple of the bolts came loose and then it sort of snapped them. Apart from that, that was just when I was changing tyres.
We can clearly see the bars and the rock sliders does the job as well.
Yeah, the bars, yeah,
why you need them.
I made them in my shed at home. I just started fabricating them up, and well, I made the rock sliders first and then joined the bar work up. Yeah, and then the rear locker packed in, so I put a Harrop E-locker in the rear, and then moved to a front Harrop E-locker as well, so a twin lock front and rear. And then roof tent, obviously, awning. It's got a full setup for 12 volts, so we went to the Pyrenees about 3 or 4 years ago now, and it was excellent, really good for you know, travelling around, having a few creature comforts in there as we went. And then recently I've just added a bigger turbo and had it mapped again and gone a bit more and a bit more. And at the minute it's 268 horsepower and 680 newton meters torque, so it chugs along quite nicely now. Yeah, I might as well show you under the bonnet if you. So it's got a bigger intercooler from Australia, big intake, It's got a DC-DC split charge system for the 12 volt. Bigger intake, airbox. Second battery I managed to snug quite well in there, that fit quite nicely. The Aussies do come with an option to put one there, but we don't get it over in the UK.
Yeah, so it's a common rail one, so it's kind of special engine.
It's a bit of a different engine, yeah. It's not the standard ZD30 that just tend to go wrong. A lot better for power management and a bit better on fuel, and yeah, worth looking for one if anybody's interested in trying to find one. They are a bit rare. Yeah, so that's under the bonnet as far as inside.
And tent. I can see
yeah, so it's got a tent box cargo roof tent, which is just, you know, when we do what we do, camping and stuff, it's just nice to have something to get you off the ground.
You keep you on the roof all year round as well, isn't
yeah,
it?
Yeah, it's on the roof all year round.
Any issues with that? Does it get damp or wet?
No. I did have an issue with tent box when I first got the first one. It corroded really bad, but they did a warranty claim on it, replaced it, and that one's been really good. But apart from that, yeah, tent box is really good. I'd recommend it. Yeah. Gets you off the ground as well, which is nice if you're in sort of foreign countries with stuff, you know, rocky ground. So I added, I took one of the seats out the rear, and I added the all the recovery gears under there, just so it's easy to get to. If you need it, it's there. You can sort of pull it out and get to it quite easily.
45 litre fridge, yeah?
45 litre fridge, yeah. It's just a polar box. It's a copy of an ARB one.
Does the job, innit?
Does the job, yeah. It's been in there for 4 years now, maybe, it's thereabouts.
And your seat as well?
Yeah, it's just got a Sparko bucket seat. I've got a really bit of a bad back, you see, and that kind of helps, if nothing else. But when you're on the rough stuff, it does tend to keep you in place a little bit better as well. So again, it's just more of a personal preference thing, but it works well for me. So that's why I've ended up going down that route.
And you can see you're sat now in the front, because you you lead the groups as well when we're out for trips. Normally, lead one of our groups when we're out. So what you prefer for your mapping, for your routing?
So I run a Garmin.
Different setup as everyone again.
Yeah, it's a Garmin Overlander, and I do actually run that alongside Outdoor Active, just to check between the two. If you drop out a signal, that's like constantly offline. It works anywhere in the world, and you can take it in the house, upload whatever you like, bring it out, and it's always there. So I just run that alongside my phone, really, with Outdoor Active on it. It works pretty well. It's not the best as far as clarity, but it's very accurate, especially if you like overlanding, or you're in the middle of Morocco in the desert or something like that. You can pick exactly where you are through the GPS quite well, really. Saved us on that on the snow lane up in the lakes when we couldn't tell where we were quite well. But yeah, just another thing to mention, it's got an EGT gauge, a boost gauge and a water temperature gauge, just to keep an eye on things, really.
This is basically your dream car, isn't it?
Yeah.
If you will change it, what are you going to change it
If
for?
I lived in the UK, I wouldn't have anything but this. I've got a 2021 Hilux Invincible X, which I use as well. Totally different vehicles, but in the UK, I think you do well to beat one of these. 80 series, again, they're a really good vehicle, but in my opinion, they're just getting a little bit old to find a good one. Absolute classic vehicle, but
15-year difference between these.
Yeah, these are a little bit newer, a little bit sort of, but the parts are a bit of a headache. A lot from Australia, and you've got to search for parts when you need them, but they are there. A lot of really good people in the group that help each other out, and we can always tend to find what you need when you need it within reason. Yeah, the CB's just it's a CRT. It's quite a long range one, actually. It's quite high powered, really good for keeping in touch with people on the lanes, distances. Any problems, you can let people know before you get to it, so before you end up backed up in a lane where you can't reverse out, you can shout out just to sort of say, stop before you get in a problem. But yeah, it works for me, works really well. Done 137,000 miles now, and I bought it with 60 something, and it's been pretty good as far as reliability wise. It's been good.
And how you joined the group? How long you been in the group now? You've been some years now, eh?
Yeah, I don't know how many years. Tell you, it was Dan. Dan had said, "Oh, why don't you join the Jap Northwest group, Jap 4x4 Northwest?" And I was like, "Oh, I've never even heard of them." And next thing I added on this WhatsApp group, and it's like, "Oh, great, you know, 4x4 friends, you know, instead of Land Rovers." And I thought, great. So anyway, I came out. Was it Wales? It was mid Wales, wasn't it?
Some
first time.
loads of trips been done now, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, this was many years ago. I mean, I'd like to think how many years? 4, 5, 6 years now.
Good memories, eh?
4, 5 years, something like that. Yeah, always good to get out.
All right.
Yeah.
360.
Yeah, 360 awning.
You got sides as well for your?
No, I don't have the sides because they were a bloody fortune, to be honest. So I just missed the sides off. I only let the tyres down just to try and level it up a little bit on the ground, so I'm not wonky in the tent.
And your back setup as well?
Yeah, so in the back, might be better off with the light on, I don't know. So I've got it fully drawn out, full of just camping stuff, you know, general bits and bobs. So that's drawn out for that. Got a 12 volt system running in the back for the fridge. It's all a bit mucky at the minute. But there's an 3000 watt inverter in there. There's a 12 volt fridge. So we've got the power, you know, if we need it. Good for charging batteries if you're bringing a cordless chainsaw or something, or you know, it comes in handy. And just a little strip light on the back, just to yeah.
That's perfect. Thank you very much.
No props. Nice to speak to you.
All right, thanks.
Get out on the lanes.
All right, see you later. Thank you.
Thank you.